Welcome back to Nerdrotic. My name is Gary Beekler, and I come to you from nerdrotic.com, and I am live in San Francisco, and we are covering the Orville Season 2, Episode 13 tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. And it's the penultimate episode for Season 2 from the Orville, with no word yet on a Season 3, which is concerning, but I've also heard that we're going to get an announcement after the finale, which I suspect we will. There is licensing going on with this show. It gets plenty good ratings. Now, it's taken some weird breaks, which I think breaks the momentum a little bit. But I'm certainly glad it's getting a finale free of Star Trek Discovery. It's got its own day, and that will be a glorious day where we cover the Orville and don't have to cover Star Trek Discovery. And that's the only time I'll even mention it on this show. So apologies to Orville fans. I've done a review. You can check it out. It's on the channel and it's full of piss and vinegar. This episode was pretty good. You know, it's not an episode that's going to blow me away. There's certainly some questions I would have of this quote unquote science, but I think it's more important, especially with a show like the Orville, which doesn't, call itself anything other than a parody, and you can play with science and science fiction like this and have it be fun, and it puts it in fun situations. So I still think there was a teeny bit of a lost opportunity in this episode, but it was still pretty fun. And we had basically two Kellys. So a callback to season 1 where they had that time device, and Isaac was able to get a little further. That I can't remember the doctor's name, but the doctor from last season, who is actually Christian Avasarala's husband in The Expanse. That's who plays that character. He was also in Austin Powers. So they made some him and John made some advancements on the time device. Then, of course, they hit a random gravity anomaly, a la Star Trek Discovery, which hits time anomalies all the time, but they hit a gravity anomaly. And prior to that, Kelly and Ed were talking, and Ed was, you know, basically saying, I want to get back together again. She said, it's not a good idea because I'm a commander, you're the captain, wouldn't look good, which is true. And that was on her brain while she was standing right next to this time device when they hit the gravity anomaly. And all of a sudden we have a Kelly from 7 years ago with, by all accounts, a really bad wig. I'm sorry, but the wig was terrible. And my wife's a hairdresser, so yeah, I know way too much about these things. And she is sitting there. And it surprises Isaac at first. And we have a weird scene with Kelly and Kelly. And it doesn't look like they can send her back home to Earth, and they plucked her right out of her apartment. And this happened to be right after Kelly and Ed's first date, because it was on Kelly's mind while they were standing next to the little time device. I love how they talk about, hey, we can't really figure out time travel. And as they try not to explain too much, that way you're free to do kind of what you want without repercussions. But they're not sure. And this plays into it. They're not sure if if another timeline has been created, or she is from this current timeline, which we don't know. So they have accepted that she is probably stuck on the Orville, and she wants to stay on the Orville, and the adventures ensue. Of course, Ed and the past Kelly hit it off immediately because she's just come off this first date that she loved. So she asks for a second date. Ed, showing no completely forgetting his command or any responsible decision, decides to go ahead with this and sees it as an opportunity to make things right, even though there is another Kelly right there, making it extremely awkward but an interesting situation. So they date a few times. They even almost get together at some point. There is a great scene where and you know, Kelly warns Ed, as he asked her permission if he could go ahead and do that. She's not really for it, but she can't tell him what to do. So they start dating. And she warns Ed that, hey, you're 7 years older now too. You're going to find this, you've changed yourself. So of course they show this with a nightclub scene, which did remind me of the dumb nightclub scene in Star Trek Discovery, but this one was actually funny because we saw Bortus and Clyden dancing, which was hilarious. It is time for the dance. Yeah, and the way they danced was hilarious. So I'll try. Somebody in the chat, I'm blanking on right now, asked if I can make that the thumbnail, and I will certainly give it a shot. I'm kind of anal when it comes to my thumbnails. They have to be a certain type of shot, but I will give it a shot. So, and it was, I just saw your name here. Hang on just a second. Zoltan OBG who requested that. So, hey, I listen to you know what? I find it very strange calling you guys fans. You're my fellow fans. How's that sound? Your viewers, listeners, we're all here together. Yeah, so you're my fellow fans. Because we're all fans here. Why did that stop? Okay, here we go. Sorry, I was getting my little timer going here. What's up, Peter Davison? Greetings. So yes, it was a quiet episode, but some interesting things popped up while they were going through the dating and having kind of a rom-com Orville episode, which I don't mind from the show. I mean, the big difference, obviously, from Star Trek is this is a network TV show and it's a parody, and they still have to throw that stuff in there. But Seth MacFarlane kept to his promise this season to make things a little more serious. And I had voiced my concerns about it, but honestly, I love this season. Even the so-so episodes like this one. This is an episode I would watch again. I didn't hate it. I'm just saying it's not the greatest episode of the season. And this is your typical network penultimate episode. Still very enjoyable. God, I wish they put this on a Blu-ray because I would buy the hell out of it. I don't know if you can buy the hell out of something once, but I would. I'd be very enthusiastic at Best Buy going, yes, or buying it off Amazon. And okay, so there's two Kalon vessels that they're about to intercept. And I think this is a precursor to next episode because we had always wondered why haven't the Kalon just attacked again? They are vastly superior technologically, and why would they just stop? Of course, there's the Krill Alliance, but I think that would only give them pause to plan a little more. But I think it only just bought them time, and I think that's exactly what's happening. So they're out scouting. They come across, but they were able to evade them at first. The dating continues, the awkwardness continues. There was a little too much mutual admiration going on. I think it's because of current year stuff that they didn't really get into the interesting stuff like self-loathing and being just cringing all the time, being around your 7-year younger self. I would be cringing all the time. So there was a ton of drama and yeah, just tons of drama. I think they passed up on because they wanted to make it positive. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it just made it a little milquetoast for me. Because there was and Seth MacFarlane knows this. And yeah, I'm wondering why they passed up on some pretty juicy situations, but it might not be over. Okay, so I'll say that. We had Kelly, Kelly is able, this is a Kelly centric episode, and it's self-discovery, and through seeing her younger self, she's kind of seeing that she's not really where she wants to be. Her younger self had stated she wanted to be in love, married, and a captain of her own ship. And even the younger Kelly says, I see my future self and you're none of those things. Kind of harsh, but true. And the younger Kelly's a bit idealistic, obviously, because she's 7 years, but 7 years isn't that much, especially when, like, sorry, but she's kind of old. And so yeah, so she's a little innocent and naive, and she thinks Ed's gonna work out, and Kelly's like, listen, it doesn't work out. I've been through this, you haven't, it doesn't work out. But the other Kelly doesn't believe her. And Ed and her date, there's the awkward club scene. They almost get busy, and then the Kalon vessels show up again. So there's a quick little, I think they need to throw this in. It's like, okay, we're a sci-fi show. Let's do this. But it was a cool scene. And while the effects technically, I guess, aren't as good as Star Trek Discovery to some, I much prefer the effect shot that I saw in this one little episode than I saw in the entirety of the space battle in the Star Trek Discovery finale, because in this episode, I could see the ship. I could see the ship flying under the ice. And while it wasn't the most perfect special effects, it doesn't need to be. It was cool looking, and I love me some good ship porn. Okay, ship porn is my favorite kind of porn. I'm that nerdy. Okay, and that was cool. And they had to fly. They went to a planet that had rings, and it was young Kelly who came up, because she did a report on the planet, who came up with an idea to evade the Kalons by jettisoning all the water. Now they're going to have to ration the water, I guess, because they put the water around them and turned off all their power and attached themselves to a piece of ice to camouflage themselves from the Kalon vessels because they couldn't outrun them. The cool part about that was calling everybody out of their bedrooms and Ed being in the captain chair with his bathrobe on, which was great. I loved it. And everybody was in their PJs and stuff. So that was cool as hell. So they evaded the Kalons. That was a pretty cool scene. Even though you can't hear in space, they did a good sound effect of the Kalon ship going over the Orville. And they were able to evade it. And luckily, Lamar and Isaac figured out a way to send young Kelly home when after she had become a member of the crew, she had a rank, she had a uniform, and they found a way to get her back, but they're going to memory wipe her. Now, a lot of people were saying that this episode threw a lot of shade on STD, and I think I got to look for it. I don't catch it every time, but I think every episode of the Orville throws a little shade on STD, and I think Seth MacFarlane might have access to their season 2 scripts, because it seems like some of the stuff mirrors each other, for lack of a better term. But they sent Kelly back and they wipe her memory, supposedly. But they're having a little problem. They need to power this time device. They sure could have used a time crystal, shouldn't they? But they had trouble powering this time device, which was kind of like Star Trek Discovery that had trouble powering the time crystal. Like I said, it's almost like Seth has access to their scripts. And I wonder if he has a little insider over there, because I have a couple insiders at CBS. So why wouldn't Seth MacFarlane? And they have trouble. So they have to boost the power. And they're able to send Kelly back to her apartment somehow, without Kelly being in proximity of that thing, which you think it would. And maybe she had to help think her way back, but no, they just send her back. And she wakes up. And remember, it's the day after Ed's first date with her. Apparently, when she gets sent back, they didn't wipe her memory. And Ed calls her back for that second date, and she says, nope. And that's where the episode ends. So I'm guessing what you guys are probably guessing, that is Kelly's timeline, and we're going to have a change in the timeline. And they didn't really show any scenes for next week. They did a recap, and it kind of, I got a little worried for a second there, because I fast forwarded and I just saw it ends here. I'm like, oh no, not the Orville ends here. But then they said the season 2 of Adventure ends here. So they recapped season 2, but they didn't show anything for the finale, which I thought was kind of cool. So it's a mystery. All I know is there's an episode description that there is repercussions from a decision. What decision? I don't know, but we'll find out. The Orville remains a fantastic show. The Star Trek we deserve. I would say the second best sci-fi show on TV. I think The Expanse is the best sci-fi show, but Orville's, it's apples and oranges. It's a great show. Seth MacFarlane is a great writer. And we should all be grateful for him, because imagine what life would be like with just Star Trek Discovery without the Orville. Honestly, I don't know if one could exist without the other. I would much rather see the Orville without Star Trek Discovery. I tell you that. But either way, there's constant comparisons. I know some people don't like that, but what you going to do? Let's get to the chat. Mark C, thank you for the $5 super chat. Kirk arriving at Enterprise in ST in Star Trek The Motion Picture, best ship porn ever. Agreed. I like Star Trek The Motion Picture. I do, because of the ship porn. It's just, that's all it is. All you need to do is change the brilliant Jerry Goldsmith music with the little wow 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 wow, and like just going over that. That'd be a funny video. Somebody make that. Tommelfinger, are you out there? Zan Zoltan, OBG, you are quite welcome. Hey, when God, it's really hard. I'm trying to get to everybody's messages and requests, but I try to honor all requests and Oh, real quick, I have a PO box. I'm going to start doing PO box openings on the nooner live streams and Friday night tights. It's going to be a little segment towards the end. Just and thank you everybody. You guys have been super generous and sent some awesome stuff. And it's all going to go behind me. So I'm going to make a little special place for PO box stuff on the wall of wonder. That's a good question. 1903 TXX, and I need to address this. It's a character flaw, but it is, I'll be honest, it is a tactic. So is you're always being late simply a tactic to ensure that your streams begin with large number of viewers? A bit. That's something I learned kind of early on, that a lot of people don't jump on. And then I do these streams. They're only about 25, 30 minutes long, but sometimes, a lot of times when I'd finish, people would just be jumping on. So I try to do 10 minutes, but Nerdrotic Jr. needed something like right when I was going to start. So I had to stop. But generally, yeah, that's, I'm going to try. I tried something new today by putting up my live streams way earlier to avoid that tactic. But that's a very good question. I got to be honest with you. It's a bit of a tactic. That ending, how have things changed? That's a good question. And that's going to be fun. And that, listen, the payoffs of this show is sometimes, and I'll freely admit, sometimes I'm like, what's this episode about? And then you get a payoff later and it gives whole new context to a previous episode. And then you remember, oh, that's just good writing. I remember that. Yeah. So, and even a callback to the first season, there is the continuity in this show, while not perfect, is much better than a certain other sci-fi show. Matthew Matson, thank you very much. Vinegar can piss. Hologram nunchuck. Yes, it can. What's up, Brandy and Kevin? How are you? How are you? Hail Spartan Jeremy. Hail Piano Man, the Piano Man 2. I'm the piano. You're like the sequel to the Piano Man. All right. Jolts and Burrow, $5. No Ed and Kelly marriage also means no Ed in command of the Orville. No Krill treaty, as he is an instrumental and logical. The Kalons are not stopped. I can't remember the episode name. You guys can help you up with the one where Picard is still just an officer and not a captain. The basically, this is your, this is your life episode. Zero the hero. Need to blow up the Orville. Need a better ship design. The space sandal sucks. It's, it's not the best, but it's not the worst. I still want one hanging from my ceiling. I do. The female Krill looks like she might be back next week. Glenn Saunders, I think the previews for next week were all just a recap of the season, but you may be right. And I hope so, because I liked her. Tapestry is the name of the episode. Thank you. Maybe we'll get an episode kind of like that. You guys, look at you guys, man. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. You all knew the episode. You are good nerds. Bless your heart. Riker duplicated with transporter accident. Yo, Josiah Rises is in the house, everybody. Great YouTuber there. I would call him a friend. We're friends, right? Good friend, Josiah Rises. What's up, man? Tito George, what is up? STD worst ever tonight. Cancel my subscription. Oh, God dang, Tito, you just reminded me of something I forgot to do. So I'll have to do it in my breakdown. My boycott philosophy, I have completely done a 180 on it. This is why, you know what? There's a bad Bond movie with a great title. Never Say Never Again. Yeah, everybody should cancel their, if you love Star Trek, you need to cancel your subscription to CBS All Access. And you know what? Get something that has Fox so you can watch the Orville. If you don't already, like if you've unplugged, you can get like a Sling or YouTube TV, something like that, Roku, whatever, something you can watch Fox where you can watch the Orville. Give up on your CBS All Access subscription, especially the desecration to the Twilight Zone is equal to what they've done to Star Trek. Video will be on the way. You know what? The funny thing, somebody's bringing up Q here. I couldn't find it, but I have a Namor action figure, and there's like a bearded head that comes off the action figure. And it looked like Spock's head, and I was gonna have it hanging off a Q's hand today, but I couldn't find the damn head. I think I dropped it somewhere. But it's for if you could see him, Namor right there. That Namor. It looks like there's a naked man swimming in on my ceiling. There might be. Hey boys. This is sort of a cross between Tapestry and yesterday's Enterprise. Yeah, it kind of was. And that's the beauty of this show is it's a parody. They can redo Enterprise shows in a modern fashion, and we will enjoy them instead of Star Trek Discovery, which rips itself off poorly. Oh man, Captain Spire is on the bridge. Does no one remember that the Orville and her crew shouldn't even be around anymore? They already changed time, so the sky's the limit. Welcome home. Thank you, Captain Spire. It is so good to be back. Oh my God, I was gone for practically 2 weeks, so I missed live Orvilles. I missed live Star Trek Discovery. I missed Josiah, my man. He was one of the guys who helped me out with when I got my copyright strike. So I got nailed. That copyright strike before my vacation was the worst thing that could have happened. But thankfully, you guys didn't leave me while I was gone, and the copyright strike got lifted, and we got another live channel out of it. And yes, so subscribe to Josiah Rises, of course, and to Nerdrotic Live. It's my second channel, so I will be covering more TV there. TV I wouldn't kind of do on this channel because of the algorithm, but the other channel, it's kind of freeform. I can do whatever the hell I want. That's where the Exozone. I'm going to do paranormal videos over there, and we're going to cover a lot more TV like Happy, Doom Patrol, American Gods, Twilight Zone, good and bad television, Good Omens. I might do that here. Good Omens. Game of Thrones is here, by the way, live every Sunday after it airs with Dictor Van Doomcock. If you hear a big explosion, it was Doomcock watching tonight's Star Trek Discovery. I'm going to be sending you book 4. Oh, great. So, Mike, look for me to have those books done probably, I hate to say this, probably beginning of fall. I have a bunch of obligations I need to fulfill on the other channel, on Patreon and the other channel, but I will get to those. So Mike Brown is a real life author who sent me the Atlantis Chronicles, and they look amazing. Like, those are real books. Like, you're like a real book writer. That's cool. And thank you for sending them to me. It's very generous. So I will review those. Okay. He's all, of course we're friends. Yes. You know what? There needs to be Orville conventions. Can we get those started? I want an Orville convention. Can somebody, I can't plan one of those. There's no way in hell. I tried to plan a comic convention. Whew, no way. But if somebody could get on that, that'd be great, because I'd go. In the wise words of a certain franchise, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one. Kelly will set things right in the end. She will, Spartan Jeremy. And she's in very good shape, by the way. Exozone needs to be a daily thing, brother. That's not out of the realm of possibility. I am going live daily very soon. It's not going to be all on this channel, but I will be live somewhere every day. My first Twitch live stream will be this Saturday. Go to nerdrotic.com for the time. I'll be live other places. So I'm going to go daily. Exozone daily, like an evening Exozone. That would be pretty cool. Got some paranormal news. Pay attention to Twitter. I'm going to be guesting on a radio show this Saturday. Orville convention would be brilliant, right? Gustavo Rojo, the Orville and Star Trek can both exist, just Star Trek not in its current state. I want them both to exist. Oh God, yes, I want them both to exist. But I can't get behind Star Trek. I will be at the Star Trek convention though. Could someone start up a Union Point? There is a Starfleet Academy for fans. Oh, there is? I think we could. I can't wait for more Exozone either. We Doomcock's a little behind on stuff. I'm figuring next week. Hope the Enterprise kit I sent you wasn't too tough. Jason, it wasn't, and I'm gonna show that off on Friday. So thank you, Jason, so much. No, that was cool as hell. I loved it. 1903 TX. I will pop it in here real quick. Just a mo. I got to actually get going here. So let's go twitch.com/nerdrotic. If it wants to sorry about the silence there, folks. Okay, there's no videos on it yet. Okay. But this is my URL for Twitch. So if you want to sign up there, Saturday will be the first stream. I don't think it'll be any different, but here you go. Twitch.tv/nerdrotic. That's it. How about the flimsy science fiction of hiding from the Kalon under the ice? It's flimsy, but this show, I'm not going to be as hard on this show as I am on Star Trek Discovery, because Star Trek has set expectations. All right. It's 50 plus years of expectations. There's a certain benchmark that is Star Trek. Star Trek Discovery has not even come close to that because it doesn't want to. Like I said in my video today, Star Trek Discovery is Star Trek for people who don't like Star Trek. It's Star Trek for Star Wars fans it's Star Trek for what they think Star Wars fans would like and what they think Marvel Comics fans would like. They have no desire because they don't think Star Trek fans exist anymore. They don't think it's a bankable fan base. They think it's not big enough. And I've heard people say that behind the scenes and stuff, that not in those exact words. The Star Trek fan base is very finite. I think they greatly underestimate it, and I don't agree with it whatsoever. I think the reason it's not succeeding is because it's not good. And that's why the Orville is succeeding. You want to know why the Orville's succeeding? Star Trek fans. I would say the vast majority of Orville fans are Star Trek fans, even more than Seth MacFarlane fans, because there's more Star Trek fans. What did the Next Generation's data say? There is a theory in quantum physics that all possibilities that can happen do happen in alternate quantum realities. And doesn't Michio Kaku say that too? Jar Jar Abrams, I agree with you. Only idiots like STD at this point. I mean, or extremely bad taste. Extremely bad taste. That's all I can say. All right, folks, I'm going to cut this one short. I just want to make sure I got all my super. Oh boy, I don't. Hang on. Alfred McKay for Canadian $2. The Orville is the only watchable modern show. It kind of is, Alfred. That's a great point. I'm getting tired of these modern shows. War and Roar for $1.99. Orville is just as good as any classic Star Trek. It as far as just an entertainment value, yes. Yeah, it's a consistently damn good show. Not even every old Star Trek was good. I mean, I find enjoyment in every single minute of the original series. Even the bad episodes, I find enjoyment. TNG, I like 92% of it. Voyager, I don't know. I kind of like them all. I'm not a hater of Voyager. Enterprise was the only one I had a problem with, and I'm coming around on that, folks. I'm coming around on that one. After watching Star Trek Discovery, I have a whole new appreciation. The reason I never got into Enterprise is I'm not a Scott Bakula fan. For some reason, just don't like him as an actor. But like I said, I'm older, a little smarter, little bit. Just because you rock. Australian $2 from Philimax. Thank you so much. You rock, Philimax. All right. Nicholas Glenn, $4.99. You see my tweet on a video link of Robert Burnett saying he would love. Oh no, I didn't. I didn't. I will check that out, Nicholas Glenn. Thank you so much. So others have contacted me about that, and yeah, let's make it happen. And I'm putting this out there as well. I am going to the Star Trek convention, and I think I don't you guys think? I think a bunch of YouTubers should go. Kind of like I'm inspired by the Star Wars meetup that I was supposed to go to and couldn't, unfortunately. And believe me, I'm doing this to kind of make up for it. I've got it like a little hole in my heart that I missed I missed meeting Jesse and Anna and Jeremy and Jeff and Ethan and Josiah and Odin. Yeah, I don't do depressed or bummed, but I was legit bummed about that. Okay, so that is my shush. Hang on, sorry. It's really unprofessional. Whoops, and my camera's shaking too. I got to keep a timer on these. So yeah, my pitch is I want all the YouTubers who have been talking about Star Trek Discovery and the Orville to come to the Star Trek convention. It's Vegas, for crap's sake. The hotel rooms are pretty cheap. The tickets are not cheap. Travel for me is cheap because I'm close. I know it's more expensive, but yeah, you know, so I'm good. But I know Mecca's going. She's got to GoFundMe, so definitely help her. I think she's even trading certain things if she reaches certain goals. So yeah, was it? I think one of them is a bikini if she hits $1,000. Yeah, go for it. Did you ever watch Discovery? If you ever watch Discovery, we Mystery Science Theater 3000 it all the way. I did a watch party on my Patreon. I'm sure it was entertaining. Okay, everybody. I am an OG nerd. I'm just old. I'm a Gary, High Plains drifter. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, we all rock. Stephen Levant, you are correct. Josiah, it's good seeing you. Sorry, I got to cut this one short, but we have the big Orville finale next week. The live stream can go as long as you want. I will be doing a short breakdown video of the Orville if you don't want to sit through the entire live stream. I know it's been a couple weeks since I've done one, so I will do one. And yeah, so next live stream will be on Nerdrotic Live tomorrow for Doom Patrol, and then on this channel tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Pacific with Comics Division. And who knows, a mystery guest, maybe a couple mystery guests. Maybe Josiah can join us tomorrow night if you can. And we'll do Friday Night Tights. And then the Twitch stream on Saturday. And of course, Game of Thrones with Dictor Van Doomcock on Sunday. Jason Green, thanks again for the $2. Could you show off the Catwoman diecast? I can. Jason Green sent me this. This is cool as hell. Let me back off. This is part of what I got in the P.O. box. This is brilliant. Look at that. That is so freaking cool. Oh, Selena. So that will be going back here in the Wall of Wonder. Thank you, Jason. And you don't have to pay. You could just ask in the chat. You don't have to give me a super chat. It's all good. You've already sent enough. Jesus. All right. Thanks for the show. It looked great on my 100-inch screen. Wow. That's a very large version of me. Wow. So everybody, will it be Doomcock? Is he the mystery guest? He could come on. Yeah. No, I honestly, Jody, I don't know who the mystery guest is. That's why I said I have a couple of feelers out. Oh, this Saturday I got a Bulls Trek. If you're out there, Bulls Trek and I are probably going to be doing a stream this Saturday. So I don't know whose channel it is. I actually haven't even looked at my messages today, so I got to message him and lock it down. But it looks like Saturday Bulls Trek and I are finally teaming up. So there's a lot of team ups coming, a lot of good ones. And if you, I'll just, before I go, if you are a YouTuber or you're a podcaster and you want me to come on, all you got to do is ask. I'll come on. All right, everybody. Have a great night. Watch the Orville. # renew the Orville. Support anybody who loves the Orville, like our good friend JP at Egotastic Fun Time and Midnight's Edge and Mecca and Doomcock. And yeah, watch the Orville. Hail Seth MacFarlane, and may the small folk. Oh, thanks for the super chats, guys. Sorry. And may the small folks sing songs of your greatness. Good night, everybody.